Hello, happy holidays, and welcome to episode 44 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Whip. Say hello.
Hello.
And I'm joined by DrummerBot. Say hello.
Hello.
How are you, lovely gentlemen, today?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I went really high there for some reason.
Oh god, you just pissed off so many dogs in the area, my dude.
How are you, Matt?
I'm very well. I'm simultaneously having enjoyed Christmas and about to enjoy Christmas. Due to the complexities of when we're recording and when we're releasing this.
Yes, technically this will be out after Christmas, but we're recording it quite a bit before. So.
Because we're moving on the 22nd and everything's going to be fucky.
Yeah, so, if anything major comes up in the intervening, week or so...
You know
then,
why.
That's why.
Yeah.
If we don't mention it.
How are you doing, Snipe?
I'm doing fine, thank you, DrummerBot. See, Wib forgot that I was here. So...
You're just part of the furniture at this point.
That's probably why he keeps putting pillows on me. Around the face area. Very aggressively.
It's for different, unrelated reasons.
Oh my god.
Okay, moving on.
We've got a bit of a special episode of the MisanthroPod for you this time of the year because, it's the holiday season and the end of the year and, well, nothing's coming out and we've got fuck all to talk about anyway.
So, yeah, we're going to go through all the games that came out this year that we've played and have a bit of a talk about them, and we can sort of look at the year as a whole in gaming because of that. Although, of course, given the nature of these things, we'll have played a very slim amount of all the games that have come out because far too many games actually come out to talk about.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, that's fair. Sorry.
We know that you've played at least as many games as can fit on at least two hands, right, Matt?
Hang on. I need to parse what you said.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Is the code
yes.
that he's talking?
No.
Going with yes.
You've played at least as many games as you can count on both hands.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can. Yeah, the number of games.
You played as many games that can fit on a 3.5-inch floppy drive.
Yeah. So some of these we won't talk about very much because we'll have talked about them recently or said all we need to say about them. But we'll go through the list and we'll see what we've got.
Oh.
So first,
list me, Daddy.
And
Someone's using that out of context.
Did you see the fucking video I appeared of in on Dicko's channel?
Yeah.
Fucking that little shit with that remix of my ooh noise. Fucking hate that asshole. He's fucking amazing.
Anyway, I'm going to go through the list. It's alphabetical.
Ooh, alphabetize me, Daddy.
Because I couldn't be bothered to figure out what order all these games came out.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I think it's way more aesthetically pleasing anyway.
Yeah, for a podcast, it's good to be aesthetically pleasing.
You need aesthetics are very important when it comes to a podcast.
Yes.
Aesthetics, if you will. Oh, just read the fucking list.
Okay, the first one in the list is something we talked about in the last episode, which is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp.
Yes, I'm pretty sure Drummer Matt played that for 2 minutes, which was just to re-add me as a friend after I super vagued at him.
Yeah, that's
last podcast.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's time waster.
Anything different since you played it the other week?
Oh, I've hit a brick wall with leveling, and there's not really adding any new animals because up until level 30, I think they give you a new animal to befriend every level.
Okay.
And it's just getting harder and harder to impress animals by basically bribing them to be my friends. But yeah, whatever. It's a time waster.
Yeah. Okay. The next one was Bad Dream Coma.
Now, we streamed this with Drummer Matt and Ruth.
Yeah.
Ah, is this the pretty one?
This is the spooky kind of 2D one.
Yeah, the one that was hand-drawn, or...
Yeah,
that's what I mean by pretty. It was really beautiful.
Oh, it was a bit grim.
And you could punch babies with wrenches or whatever you did.
Oh my... Yeah, I know. Okay, I knew you were going to bring this up. Okay?
Yeah.
I didn't think it'd let me do it. I didn't think it'd let me punch out a baby with a fucking, what was it? I flipped a bottle around and just caved a baby's head in or something?
It was a doll.
Yeah, but it stopped crying.
Yeah, but we
after.
didn't know that until after you'd smashed it.
Yeah.
That was really funny because while we were streaming, like, everyone here just went, and was silent, and the stream was quiet, and then it erupted in Snipe. What the fuck did you do? Just fucking people just like, what's wrong with you? Why would you do that? You killed a baby. And I'm like, I didn't know. So yeah, just for that moment alone, it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, you also punched a bunch of birds.
I punched so many
Which
birds.
guaranteed you getting, like, the worst ending of the game straight off the bat.
Yeah.
Because you punched too many birds.
Oh, I punched so many birds.
It is weird to see a point-and-click adventure with some kind of morality system, because in most point-and-click adventures, you play this weird amoral agent of chaos.
Yeah.
Basically.
Try and put every object with every other object in the universe.
Yeah, you're like a true neutral character, I guess, or a chaotic neutral or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
It's pretty nightmarish.
it's a bizarre existence being a point-and-click adventure character.
Yeah, so I mean, it was all right. Thought it was quite interesting for what it was. Had a cool art style. I found it pretty interesting. But yeah, it has been a while, but no, I thought it was pretty decent.
Okay, well, the next game on the list is Bendy in the Ink Machine.
Oh, you mean Five Nights at Freddy's 2?
Not really.
No, the fandom
Well,
are fucking crazy.
Yeah,
And I'm not
okay,
going
that's
to judge
fair,
the game
yeah.
by its fandom, but I will say that is it the first episode's free to play.
Yeah,
So the first episode's free to play. It takes about 20 minutes.
something like that.
It's an interesting premise. You know, you like an animation studio, and a mate of yours sends you a letter who you used to work with, and he's like, you need to come and do stuff at the ink machine.
I literally don't remember what happens.
Yeah, you get like a note from someone, and you've got to find like audio logs, and it's horror. And it's like, it's 20 minutes, and then you like, because we did a video on it, we were like, shit, that was like no time at all.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go and spend the £6 or however much it was on the next episode.
I think it might have been £4.
It was like a fiver, I feel, but whatever. And so we go and play it, and again, it lasts about 15-20 minutes, and it's like, oh, fuck you.
Yeah,
Fuck you. And then it was like, oh yeah, you've got to buy the next one when it comes out, and it's like, I think it's the third episode I've heard is like an hour and a half, but they've lost too much good faith with me.
Yeah,
honestly.
I have heard the third chapter is pretty good, but yeah, I was soured on the game.
Things actually happen in the third chapter.
I was soured on the game greatly because despite really liking the general idea of it, of being like, yeah, 1920s animation.
Spookiness.
Yeah, and kind of doing a horror game around that, and it kind of committing to that aesthetic, which I was like, yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, how short the second episode that was paid for was sort of really soured me on the whole thing.
It was really cheeky, and it kind of got to me.
And I think because it gained a sort of smaller version of the fandom that things like Five Nights at Freddy's got, it meant that a lot of people didn't really seem to question that. It was just, oh, this is fine, that you can beat the game in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's I would have preferred if what they've done is just gone £20 for the whole thing. Like, you know, like Telltale Games did.
Yeah, well, I think the whole thing, because I don't know if the third chapter is the final chapter.
I don't think it is. I've seen some people let's play it, but
I think it will be significantly under £20 when all parts are out.
yeah, but at the same time, if they just turn around and gone, as a collective, this is how much it costs, and then you don't have to pay for every episode.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't have minded that much. I would have been like, okay, I mean, I would be quite disappointed that, oh yeah, I've been waiting how long for this new episode, and it's fucking 50 minutes long. Okay, that's a bit of a piss take, especially because the third one's an hour and like a half. It's just, I mean, kudos to them for actually putting work in and trying.
Yeah, maybe they did get complaints about it, so they kind of pulled the finger out and kind of made a much more elaborate one for that.
I feel that it should have been like that from the beginning, but at least they've made moves to change it. So, yeah. That's about all I've got to say about it.
Okay. The next one is one that we have all actually played.
Okay.
Like, all of us have, which is Cuphead.
Cuphead. Drama about loves Cuphead.
I played this on the drunk stream and I think we started it when we were quite drunk, and by the time we'd finished playing it, we were very drunk.
So yeah, we were very, very drunk.
I have a distorted view of this.
I remember you guys trying the plain one over and over and over again.
And we were playing on easy as well.
And Ruth kept bringing us really strong drinks because she is the queen.
Cuphead is not a game to play whilst you're your reflexes are impaired.
No.
It's not a good game to play if you're over 25, because that's when your reaction times go to fucking shit.
That is also true. But yes, Cuphead's great. I'm shit at it, but it's really great.
I'm shittier at it, and it's cool. I love the aesthetic. I think they put so much fucking effort into it. I was really, really fucking worried when it kept getting delayed. I was like, oh, no.
I was more worried when it was coming, when we first started seeing footage of it, because it was so pretty. I thought there's no way in hell it will actually feel good as well.
But...
because I thought the more elaborate the animation, usually the more floaty and over animated stuff will feel.
Yeah.
But the actual game doesn't feel like that, which I was kind of surprised about.
No,
and was
it's quite solid.
Yeah, it's that's great. I'm happy with that. It's good video game. There's not really much to say about it other than good video game, honestly.
What do you reckon, Drummer Butt?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's just a
really
very
is.
pretty game. But fucking too hard for me when I'm drunk.
Too hard for me when I'm stone cold sober, honestly.
I've never played it sober.
Honestly, you need to drink to just sweeten yourself up, because it is that fucking hard.
Hey, I'm sweet enough.
Oh, you sweet thing.
And honestly, saying I've never played Cuphead sober makes it sound like you have a problem.
It does, doesn't it?
It's like, yeah, that's going to be Drummer Matt's Game of the Year, and he's racked up 400 hours of it, but yeah, it's driven him to drink. He can't cope no more.
It truly is the Dark Souls of video games.
Oh,
Hey.
I've played Dark Souls drunk, and it was slightly easier than playing Cuphead drunk.
Oh, you've not played Dark Souls really drunk then? Oh, it's basically
I can't
impossible.
remember the last time I was really, really drunk, so...
When one of the times when we streamed and had a
was
drink,
this when you had that cherryade
possibly,
mixer?
yeah.
Because then you were, vomiting red all over the fucking...
I could.
I honestly, I brought him up a bowl, and I popped it there, and he was kind of, lying half out of the bed, with his arm kind of just propping his head up, and he was throwing up and being, pretty much upside down. And I was like, okay. And for a split second, I really panicked, because it was just red coming out of his mouth. And I was like, oh no, wait, we got really cheap and shit cherryade.
Yeah.
And cut vodka with it. That's what that is, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't think it was...
And then I stayed up all night checking on you every hour, because I've never seen you that drunk.
I think it was a combination of, being quite drunk, but also the cherryade being so bad was what made me throw up.
It tasted like cough medicine.
It was really
It was
bad.
horrible.
But we didn't have anything else to mix it with.
Maybe it was cough medicine, and that's why you were so sick.
But yeah, I played Dark... I think that time I was playing Dark Souls on stream while like that, and that was...
And then I swapped.
Ooh.
And then we swapped because you were too drunk to actually play, and then you just sat there staring at chat, going, "I love you guys, I love you," and everyone was like, "Lol, I love drunk whip."
Yeah, that was the thing that happened. Anyway. Next game.
Yeah, what's next?
Darkwood.
Darkwood was fun.
A little top-down horror game.
Yeah.
Haven't played that much of it overall.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. It is, from what I can see, because I'm not really into those types of games, but because I'm a massive wuss. But no, I like what it does. It's aesthetically very cool. Its story is pretty good. It's creepy, which is really weird for a top-down game. I
Yeah.
didn't think it'd creep me out, but it did. And the devs have earned my eternal trust and respect up until they fuck up, which hopefully they won't. But still, because these were the guys who turned around and went. Because I originally became aware of it on Reddit. They posted in R Gaming going, "Hey guys, we quit our jobs and decided to just make video games," and it's 2 guys and a dog, I think, is the official roster of the devs. And they were like, "Here, if you want to buy it, that's great. But if you can't afford it or don't want to, here, we've put it up on torrent sites. So yeah, just go play it. And if you do like it, then feel free to buy it." And I thought that was really nice.
Yeah, I think it did actually help them, because I think that ended up because a lot of people just went and downloaded the free version.
Yeah.
I think it did lead to a lot of sales in the
That's
end.
a lot.
So.
I mean, to be fair, that's I felt a lot of goodwill.
Oh
with
yeah,
that. I was like,
yeah.
you know what? You're just excited, and you want people to play the game that you really enjoyed making.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
appreciate that. So, but yeah, I also like it how there's an angry dog person guy who shows up randomly and is like, "You can't leave that way, you idiot."
I don't remember that, honestly.
It's a bit further than we got.
Okay, next one is one of the big ones.
Ooh.
And by big ones, I mean the ones that our
Big for us.
our kind of channel is more concerned with, which is Dawn of War 3.
Oh, that old thing.
Now, I haven't played that much of it. I've only played the first couple of missions.
Honestly, I'm just kind of like, I'll just go play Dawn of War 1.
Yeah, I know.
That's what I'm going to do. Sorry.
Yeah, it was not super well regarded, and I don't blame people for that, because, yeah, it does have a lot of problems. But as regards playing more of it, I mean...
What do you reckon?
Who knows? Maybe soon. Maybe you might see
soon,
more of it. Maybe.
Oh no, I don't think so.
Oh no.
No. Ooh.
Ooh no.
Ooh.
Ooh. There's no possibility we might be playing it soon.
What, a 40k game on our channel? Pull
I-
the fucking other one. It plays Jingle Bells, eh?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Anyway.
Anyway, there's also one which I've been playing recently, or more accurately, I've been playing the free trial of Destiny 2.
Oh.
Ah.
How is it? Have you had to pay to win yet? Because, there's a lot of bullshit in the news about that.
That's all a mystery to me, honestly, because the trial
You
goes
played
up to
level 7?
It goes up to level 8.
Oh, even better.
And, honestly, I was expecting, level 8 to get me, an hour and a half into the game, but I actually got quite a lot of play out of it.
Oh, okay.
Me and a friend of mine, went through in co-op and played, 3 hours of it last night.
See, I've been kind of, feeling that I should play it, but this is what I want to know. Does it have a Goldshire equivalent?
There are hubs where there's a bunch of people knocking around, yes. And
Does
there
it have a Goldshire equivalent?
I don't know.
Then I don't care.
I have not found the equivalent of Goldshire on an RP server, no.
Step it up, Blizzard. Fuck's sake. Get good.
But yeah, I can see why people like it, because I do really like the general aesthetic of the game, which is the thing that actually kind of interested me in playing the first one, and then it was like, oh, this is
Console only.
Is a first-person shooter console-only game, and
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with people playing first-person shooters on consoles, because that would be a weird thing to have an issue with, but just I personally can't deal with it.
Yeah, I cannot do it. I can't do it. It's the worst.
So the fact Destiny 2 came out on PC was kind of good for me, but I don't know, it feels to me like it's a really fun little game to just while away time with, from what I've played of it, but I don't know if I'd consider it worth the full price.
Yeah?
Because it's cool, but it's not like...
Can I ask a newbie question?
Yeah?
So is it PvP, or are you playing PvE? Or is it
Both.
Both. Which were you doing?
PvE. Primarily it's PvE, but there is PvP elements.
Is there
Okay.
PvP zones?
It's like an arena thing, which
okay.
I haven't actually played that, honestly. I've only played the PvE stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd only really be interested in PvP.
It's basically a cross between like a big old open world RPG type thing.
They have hubs. I've seen a bit of you playing it, so
with different worlds to go to, different large areas to go to, but an MMO basically.
Okay, that's cool.
So yeah, I want to like it a lot more than I do, but I like it more than I thought I would.
yeah.
If you know what I mean.
We'll pick it up on sale.
It's a weird one. Yeah. I mean, maybe at some point I'll pick up the full version and be able to kind of go through it, because I've heard it gets a little bit more tedious once you get a bit further into it.
Yeah, like I say, pick it up on sale.
Yeah, but as a co-op game to play with a friend, I actually quite like it.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is one that is a Snipe only affair.
Mm-hmm.
Which,
I am the only one legally allowed to play this game.
which is Dream Daddy.
Oh, yes.
It's good. Yeah, I've been doing that for my channel, but to be fair, I've had such a drought lately because, well, Christmas and fucking moving, so I really haven't had a chance to upload the next few bits.
Yeah, I was going to ask about it, but I didn't know if there was some reason why you'd stopped doing it, but I also wanted to just send you, every few days text being like, God damn it, I need my next fix.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have 2 episodes that I've got one that I'm 10 minutes through editing. I kind of got help, like, I kind of got 10 minutes in and I lost the will to live, and I was like, I can't fucking do this.
No.
So I went and, like, played WoW for a while to calm down. But yeah, no, they're there, and I you know what, I'm probably just going to try and get one uploaded before Christmas if I can.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, because I've made them longer, so I've made them about half an hour, but
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I think Dream Daddy is very cool. I'm sure I've spoken about it before, so I'll be brief. The writing's really good. The characters very well developed. Really, I do really enjoy it. It's got some lovely moments. It's got some silly moments, and it's got some really adorable moments, and it's got a lot of feely moments, which always catch you off guard. And it's like, stop making me want to be a good dad to my daughter, because that's all I want. But yeah, I can definitely recommend it because, like, I mean, if you're the dating part is just kind of that. To me, that's kind of the mechanical bit of it, but
Yeah.
the actual characters are so colourful and so fun and interesting and intricate. So yeah, I can recommend that.
Yeah, it's like from watching you play it, which admittedly when you're talking about a dating game, it's not like, you know, there's a real game feel to like, you know, oh, I wonder how that feels to play.
Yeah, it's just, can you use a mouse?
Yeah.
Then you know how to play it.
But yeah,
But there are like weird mini games in it.
yeah,
Which kind of come out of the blue. Like the golfing one, and it's just like, fucking what?
Yeah.
And they're like jumping through a crowd at a gig to try and get back to one of the dads you're dating. With the best, like, placeholder song ever.
that was brilliant.
That was fucking genius. I was like, you know what, that's amazing.
If you want to know what that is, go and watch Snipe's playthrough.
Yep, Snipe's quality content on YouTube. See, it's funny because it's not very quality.
It's not quite quality, but although it is technically content.
It is technically, if you were going on the legal definition, technically content.
It could be worse. You could have called it Snipe's frequent content.
Oh.
You're really gonna fucking drag me like
Smell
this?
the burn from over here.
Let me go get some cold water.
Shall I move on?
Yeah, alright. Fucking dick.
Okay, the next game is For Honor.
Of which you have none, because that hurt my feelings.
Good segue.
Good.
Thank you.
So yeah, For Honor, a game that is obstinately spelt wrong.
I got bored of that one instantly.
Really?
It's just not something I'm good at, and it just frustrates me because I want to at least be a little bit good at something because that's where my enjoyment comes from. That's why I'm like MLG Pro sick, like 360 no scope daddy kisses on Dream Daddy.
Yeah, For Honor does have a bit of a learning curve to it because it doesn't play like, it's not like you go into it and it just plays like another game. So
Yeah, no, like the controls is just not a game that I can really get into. The controls kind of just push me out with that, but it looks gorgeous. The armor's fantastic. The story is there.
it does have a story.
It does
yes.
have a story. PvP can fuck off because I hate PvP.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I went through and played it to actually beat the campaign. And I quite liked the campaign. It ended way too soon. But the basic mechanics of it I liked much better as a PvE thing than a PvP thing.
Yeah.
I think because playing it PvE...
Spawn die.
Well, it kind of became a little Soulsy. Not to compare everything to Dark Souls, but, you know, like a bit of a methodical melee combat sort of thing.
Yeah.
But nowhere near as, you know, harsh.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that, whereas the PvP stuff, like, I don't know, it just kind of became, oh, this person is just straight up a hard counter to what you're doing, or they've got a character you haven't unlocked yet.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of bollocks, and I was just about the PvP, but I did enjoy the PvE. Also, it gave us that character that just screamed, "You are a raider," legendary, over and over and over again in the fight.
What was that? There was like a Viking woman who said one thing.
No, she just kept shouting, "Raider!"
Raider!
over and over again.
So, okay, well,
was-
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, it was really weird like that sometimes.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah.
a Ubisoft game. What the fuck do you want?
I mean, it's a game which I can say if you can find on the cheap, I think it's worth it for the campaign because that's at least interesting.
Yeah.
But the PvP, some people like it. I really didn't.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, I mean, it's one of those games that I wish I could have gotten into.
Yeah, I get you.
But I just couldn't do it, annoyingly enough.
Yeah, I get that. The next one is The Long Dark, which technically was out a long time ago, but it came out of early access this year.
Okay.
I've played this game a lot, and it's actually pretty good.
Because we played it on stream when it was still relatively new, and it was pretty basic.
It was pretty basic. They've I'm quite impressed with them. They have done a lot. They've added a story mode. They've got David Hayter and Jennifer Hale in there, and I'm just like, well, shit, I have to love this game now. It's got the Hayter in it.
It was surprising to have like a early access survival game that came out of early access and wasn't just that. They actually made like a full proper campaign for it.
They rejigged the UI. Sorry, getting my acronyms all mixed up. They put in a story mode. Like, the aesthetic is good. I'd say there's a few problems with it, but I think those are just inherent problems to the genre. Oh yeah, you need to get up in the morning and walk 40 miles that way, and it'll take you about 15 minutes to actually do that.
Yeah.
And you'll have to stop 3 times along the way because your character's getting fucking hypothermia. But it's like there's like a part I like about it because you have like multiple different maps, dependent on the first one is, I can't remember what the name of it is, which is, I always play on easy because I'm building up to letting wolves tear out my fucking throat and whatnot, because it's just a fun kind of, that's a podcast game for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a podcast game for me. What I mean by that is, it's a game you play with no volume on, or very low volume, and you just listen to a podcast, or you just zone out and relax.
Yeah. So I used to do that with The Binding of Isaac. I don't know what it says about me.
Hey, this is the thing. You do whatever.
Hell, I used to do it with Dark Souls shit.
I could not have my ears for Dark Souls. I don't know how you manage that, but okay. But yeah, so it's a good kind of, I don't want to say relaxing, because you'll be been attacked by a wolf and your speed is fucked because you've got a swollen ankle and you're like, I'm gonna freeze to death and it's getting dark and I don't have any means of light and but it's still kind of relaxing, because, you get to know the maps, because the maps aren't randomized, but the stuff inside it is.
Is your starting position randomized as well?
I think so, yeah. But the map in and of itself is the same. So one, I just restarted one, because it's another, again, relaxation. So, which has got, a bunch of ice hole huts, fishing, a bunch of cabins, and just I can't remember where it is, but it's southeast from there. There's a ranger's cabin that you can go in. It's got a stove and a bed and dead Bob. Usually dead Bob.
Dead Bob.
Okay, so I have a friend. You could kind of look at this as a coping mechanism that I have when I'm playing, but on in this area, because a few times I've gotten there and dead Bob hasn't been at the top of the stairs waiting for me, and it's just made me feel sad and lonely.
Yeah.
But on the second floor of the ranger's cabin near the iced over lake, there's usually a corpse is kind of slumped up, and I kind of, the first time I saw him, I referred to him inwardly as Dead Bob. And I just, every time I'd go out to get supplies, I'd come back in and be like, Dead Bob, I'm home, and I'd go up and I'd be like, I don't know why I fucking bother, Dead Bob. You never say hi to me. Dishes are this high in the fucking city. It was just so I'm not lonely.
You were basically doing the Tom Hanks in Castaway
He
thing.
was, yeah.
He was your Wilson.
Nice.
Yeah, all my saves are named after him as well, so it's like, Dead Bob, please, Dead Bob, where? Give me Dead Bob or give me death. Just shit like that. But no, it's a lot of fun, and I'm really impressed, because a lot of survival...
What was the name of this one again? Sorry,
The Long Dark.
But Long Dark, because all I could think to was Into Darkness, and I was like, no, I think that's a different thing. But
it is a different thing, because that doesn't have a Dead Bob either.
No, Long Dark.
The Long Dark, yeah. It's enjoyable, and with survival games, I don't ever expect them to come out of early access, and I don't ever expect them to change anything.
Yeah.
Because so few do, but these guys did, and I'm impressed by that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, can recommend The Long Dark if you haven't played it. It's very cool.
Okay, next up is a bit of a contentious entry, which is Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, I played the whole thing to completion, and I didn't 100% it.
You did more
but
than the developers.
You ain't wrong, dude.
Yep. Yeah.
To be fair, I kind of feel bad.
Oh yeah, no, it's not the
Because
developer's fault.
Yeah.
It's not the developer's fault. It's
No,
fucking
of course
EA's
not.
fault.
Yeah,
Because
obviously.
literally
It's
everything
EA's
is EA's fault.
All of the world's problems can be traced back to EA at some point.
Yeah, my oven started just turning its fucking flame off, like turning itself off and then turning itself on again, so the gas is running, but the fire's not there. That's fucking EA's fault. They know I know too much. Fucking pricks.
But yeah, I have somewhat complex feelings with Mass Effect Andromeda because
That's the thing. It's because there are elements there of a good game, but EA kicked it out the door so much and gave it to a low-key studio.
yeah, because I mean, I like some of the characters like Vetra and Drac, and the story. Whilst I get it that it's nowhere near as grand
Well,
as the previous Mass Effect trilogy, so I understand people being disappointed there, but I'm kind of glad that they shifted it so like out of the way that they didn't have to worry about which ending do we consider canon.
no,
thing.
absolutely, and I think that was a very clever idea.
Yeah,
Good on them for that.
and there is some problems with the writing, yeah, and technically speaking. Bearing in mind, I beat most of the game whilst the game ran like absolute dog shit. Mm-hmm. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Like I did most of it whilst you still had to like sit through all of the animations for going between planets. Like you couldn't skip them.
That was that was immediately the first time I did that. I was like, "Has this been playtested?"
Yeah. But what I will say, because a lot of people sort of just focus on the negative, and I've mentioned this a few times, but the one thing that I do unambiguously love is I really like the combat in the game. Especially because if you play something like a Vanguard, the added verticality of your little rocket jump thing you can do, your little jetpack jump, really makes that combat quite fun.
I will say, I completely agree with you.
Like, I just enjoyed getting into fights in it a lot more so than I did in the other games.
Yeah.
The other games were better, but I just really like the combat in it, which I think is what kind of carried me through to beat the game. Also, it was weird that the loyalty missions for your characters were so uneven. Some of them were really crap, and some of them were really good and had some of the better, funnier writing in the game. It was, and
I thought the one with Liam was really good.
Yeah, Liam's was quite good, despite
It's a
Liam
shame
being
that-
a massive prick.
Yeah, I could not get on with Liam. I really tried to like the guy. I just couldn't. Vetra was my bae.
Yeah, Vetra's cool.
Oh,
Vetra's
she's
who I romanced.
waifu
Yeah.
material. She is. I love her. She's very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so it had its flaws, but I still enjoyed my time with it.
No, this is the thing. It's like, I would say that it had very large shoes to fill, so it was massively disappointing for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say it's disappointing for me. I found it disappointing. There's like certain little things that really bugged me. Okay. So little bits about the story that kind of got to me, because let's be honest, no one plays Mass Effect for the game mechanics. No one gives a fuck about those.
Well, they play through Mass Effect 1.
Okay.
It's
the story that pushes you through that game.
Yeah,
that's what helps
what I
you
mean,
finish it.
yeah.
You don't play it for the fucking mechanics, because God knows they were barely functional in the first one. Oh, God. But, you get through, and, like the whole kind of, your dad. I did like how you could choose whether your dad was a dick or a complete, or just a nice dad.
Yeah, how you talked about him.
How you
kind
talked
of
about him,
defined
kind of like, yeah. I thought that was cool. So obviously, I had to make my dad a complete cunt. And like the whole it's not really a spoiler, but the first like 10 minutes is like where you choose who you're playing as. You're playing as Femme Rider or Man Rider. And coming out of stasis. So I always play Mass Effect as like basically someone who looks a lot like me.
Yeah.
And like has like my name, just because it's fun. It's fun to pretend I'm in this cool space future. And I modeled the brother, like the boy rider, off my actual brother. And I thought, oh, this is going to be so good. My brother and I are going to go, fuck off. Fuck off. They about kill him in the first 5 fucking minutes. I was fucking frantic.
He also doesn't wake up until a few hours before the end of the game.
Literally, okay, this is what I did. And they should have fucking done something, like, to reward this kind of behaviour. Every time I, like, came in from doing something, I would go check on my brother. And they'd be like, is he awake yet? And they'd be like, no new dialogue. And I'd be like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you! I'm worried about my brother. To the point where I sent my brother a picture going, your fucking lazy ass won't wake up. And he was like, why did you forsake me? I'm die because of you. And I'm like, stop. You are not helping. My brother the fucking troll. But like little things like that where it's like, see, I feel in an older Mass Effect they probably would have put things in for that.
I think that's it. It had a really big thing to live up to, and they did not give it the time that it needed to be a good follow up to it. So
yeah, isn't it?
Which is what and that's what it needed. But anyway, the next game on the list is a one that we're all excited to talk about, which is Panty Party.
That was fucking stupid.
The one where you played as a sentient pair of pants. Well, more accurately, a girl who was turned into a pair of pants, and then you would fight other pants.
Yeah.
It was not very good. Okay, so, obviously it's a gimmick game. It's obviously that's what that is. We're not going to sit here and go, well, it was nothing like Mass Effect, so it was terrible. The story wasn't engaging, and I didn't believe the characters. Yeah. The actual mechanics of it were shit.
I've heard it compared to mechanically Zone of Enders, or I guess it's like Zone of Undies. I don't know.
You've been sitting on that for how fucking long?
I just thought about it.
Okay, all right. No, it's I wouldn't recommend it. The story was fucking lame, and it's like I think if you've got a joke concept, you gotta know how to use it, and they just fucking didn't.
It also gets kind of gross about underage girls.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it can just fuck off, really.
Yeah. So let's move on to a much better little indie game.
I just want to make a politics joke now, but something on the lines of it running for Congress in Alabama or whatever.
Honestly, I trust this game more, but that's beside the point.
But yes, to move on to a much better game.
A much better game.
Passepartout.
Passepartout!
Which is a little game where you paint pictures.
It's Passepartout the Starving Artist.
Oh yeah,
which is a bit too fucking realistic for me, if you ask me.
Yeah.
A little bit.
And you just paint stuff. You can plug in a tablet.
Yeah, that's what we did. We did a stream, we plugged in a tablet, and I just kept drawing really horrible things.
Yeah, and you sell them, and you got to try and appeal to the clientele. So
you can't just draw. You can't just paint what you want. You have to paint. You have to paint to appease people because you're not allowed to be creative because people don't know they want that yet. You have to trick people into by giving them things that they think that they already want, which is basically nothing that's original. So you do fan art and you do fan art over and over again until you fucking can't stand the look of it or even hearing anything to do with these things. And then people maybe they'll start paying attention to your original content that you've spent fucking hours slaving over and perfecting. But no, they'd rather look at a picture of fucking McCree! So I hear. Sorry.
So in that regard, the game is very accurate to life.
Okay, I am
that was the game.
Yeah. I will say, just in case anyone's worried that I'm genuinely angry, I'm only a little bit angry. That was a bit. That I did play that up for comic relief, but seriously,
slightly
support artists that don't. Oh my god, I can't. Oh. But still, Passepartout, very good game. A lot of fun.
Yeah, honestly, really fun. I did. We finished streaming it about 5 minutes before the end of the game. It turned out
because we're just failures.
I did go and beat it afterwards, and yeah, it's a nice little game.
I like it. It's cute, and I like it how it has different kind of paths you can go down.
Yeah, you can go down paths where you try to do like elaborate things, or you can go down ones that are more abstracted. It's actually really
and some surreal ones.
Yeah, it's really actually quite difficult to go down some of the paths. I remember trying to do some of the other ones.
Well, the one I ended up in was like I ended up in like an office building, appealing to like the wealthy suit-wearing rich.
Yeah, that's like the one that if you don't really commit to a style in that game, that's what you'll end up.
Wanted, so.
Yeah, that's the one that you'll usually end up going down.
Yeah. I remember just constantly like victimizing one member of my clientele
Frank wasn't his name.
There was Frank, he was at the end, and we just kept drawing pictures of him, like, pulling his butthole apart. like fitting his own fist in his ass.
No.
And it felt like Frank is a fucking wiener.
Okay.
And he kept coming in and going, "This is beautiful," and buying them.
Okay, that wasn't quite what we did.
There was one where, I think I drew where he had, like, really long nipples, and it was like Frank the Dank or something.
Yeah.
And he came in, it was like, "This isn't very imaginative." I'm like, "You're right, Frank, it isn't, I'm sorry."
I remember drawing a picture of him just not wearing trousers and having a stinky butt.
Didn't he buy that one?
I think he did, yeah. And there was also the one I drew where it was like a kind of Titanic drawing me like one of your French girls thing. With a tiny little dingle.
Yeah, so that's a fun little mini game.
Yeah.
Like, pick someone who keeps coming into your shop and just start, like, focusing on them.
Make all of your hate art towards them.
Yeah.
And if they buy it, you win.
It is really funny when they come in and it's just like... And it's literally, you haven't even painted something, it's just the text, "Frank is a big old wiener face and smells like day-old tuna." And he'll come in and go, yes, no, this appeals to my soul," and then walk out with it and give you money, and you're just like, beautiful. I love it. Very good game, can recommend.
The next game is a game that is truly amazing, called Possessed.
Is that the one with the little stripper girl?
Yeah.
Because they didn't get a kid model, they just got, like, an adult woman and shrank her down.
Yeah.
It's like, "Katie, we need to get out of here. This place is fucked."
It's got, like...
"Okay, Dad, let's go."
It's got, like, voice acting ripped seemingly from a mid-90s survival horror. Actually, no, that...
"Wait, Katie, don't open that door."
Okay,
Dad.
It's a different kind of bad, I guess.
It is bad.
Yeah, it's just a terrible shovelware.
Oh, God.
First-person shooter. It is literally only on this list for completeness.
Yeah.
It is terrible. If you can buy it very cheap, it's kind of worth it for a laugh.
It's worth the price of admission because it's just so fucking terrible.
But I think at its regular price, I seem to remember it being way too expensive for the pile of garbage it is.
Yeah.
Next up is an actual survival horror, which is Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7. They've just released free DLC for that, which is Not a Hero and End of Zoe.
Oh, I didn't know it was free.
Yeah, free. It was like, wow, Capcom? Nice.
Yeah.
With not Chris Redfield. I'm so salty about that guy.
Why?
Because he's not Chris Redfield.
Why is he not
He's
Chris
not my darling Chris Redfield.
But his name is Chris Redfield.
Okay, he's not, though.
But he is Chris
But
Redfield.
don't you fucking... This is a marriage-ending fucking thing. Don't push me. That's not Chris Redfield.
Why is it not Chris
Because
Redfield?
don't look like him.
Well,
Because he's not a fridge.
I mean, that's...
He's not a fridge with a beautiful boy haircut.
Look, I will agree with
Chris
you.
is a fridge!
I will agree with you on that, but I would also point out that basically every single woman in Resident Evil gets a massive overhaul in how they actually look every other game to appeal to whatever.
Yeah,
like,
but Chris has been one of
aesthetic.
those universal constants in my life that's just always kind of made me feel safe and secure in life.
I don't know. Sometimes he's more of a fridge than others. Facially,
this
he's
is
been
the thing.
pretty similar.
Yeah, facially, that's the thing. It's just like he's always kind of looked like that, and that's cool. And I could give or take the fridge. I'd be happy to go with washing machine. maybe bread maker. At a push, I'd be okay with that.
What about an ice cream maker? And then he can be carried around by an extra in Star Wars.
Yeah, that'd work. You know
Sorry,
what?
that's a very specific joke. I apologise.
Could I carry him around? Because I would pay money to just carry Chris Redfield around all day.
But apart from complaining about a really minor point of the game,
Oh,
what do you think
bitch.
of Resident Evil 7?
I think Resident Evil 7 is fantastic. That is what that fucking series needed.
Oh, yes.
Oh my god, it needed that. I mean, I was really skeptical, and I think everyone kind of discounted it as, like, PT, like, the hype for that was insane, because it was one of the most terrifying and fantastic and most gorgeous horror experiences people have had in a long-ass time. And when that was basically canned, you know, Capcom quite cleverly went, let's jump in on that, and release the Haunted House, like, demo. And it was nowhere near in depth, but it was still like, that's really good. It's really refreshing. And like I heard a lot of people complain, it's like, oh, Resident Evil, this is a betrayal. It was never about haunted houses. And it's like, okay, Yes, it was.
But
the first one takes place in the Spencer Mansion.
And if you want to go, its two greatest things that it's inspired by is it Home Sweet Home?
I think Home Sweet Home, which is literally a haunted house.
And Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
Which is literally a haunted house.
Yeah.
So
yes, it is.
It's not only about a haunted house, its lineage is entirely made of games about haunted houses.
This was my problem exactly. It's the whole kind of like...
It's an evil that... It's a residence that has evil in it.
It's an evil residence. What do you fucking want? It's not just a fancy name. But yeah. And no, I was very taken with it the first time I saw it because everyone was streaming that game.
Yeah.
Everyone was like doing videos on it. Everyone was kind of sitting there and going, "We're going to uncover all of the secrets," because they tried to do a bit of a Kojima thing with the whole secret. They couldn't quite pull it off, but I appreciate the
It's
effort.
Capcom. They're fundamentally inept.
Yeah, but like it looked gorgeous. It was very well done, and. Yeah, I thought it was really cool. Like I've seen the whole game. Good story. I mean, there were a couple of glaring gaps, but these DLCs have filled that in.
Oh, cool.
Which I think is oh my god, the DLC End of Zoe, you would love it because it brings in a new character who's he's related to the Baker family.
Okay.
And he's amazing.
Okay. Is this something I should check out?
Yes,
okay.
This is definitely something you should check out. But no, I think that's exactly what the series needed, especially after 6.
Yeah. I mean, I've never really hidden the fact that I can't stand the series.
This is the thing, I can't
have.
really play them. I've completed, one of them. Played a good bit of Resi 2, never really finished it because I was a dumb shit kid and it was terrifying. But I don't know, I've always had a massive soft spot for Resident Evil.
Yeah, I've just never got the series at all. But I will say that this entry is the first one that made me actually want to play it.
Well, it's good.
I didn't
it's
beat
good
it.
horror.
Yeah, I didn't beat it or anything, but I did play a bit of it, and I did enjoy what I played.
Yeah,
so.
it's I do like it, especially certain bits of it. It kind of it's a bit hokey.
Yeah,
with certain things, and it's that feels very lovingly referencing the older games that were just dumb.
Yeah,
the
because
storyline was really dumb.
It's all Resident Evil has always sat in that funny part where it's often unclear how much of it is supposed to be intentionally, poorly written for a joke, and how much of it is just poorly written because Capcom are bad at writing.
Yeah. But no, this is it's well written. It's got just amount of hokey silliness to being I like it, and it's spooky. Yeah, so I do like it, and free DLC is always sweeten me up.
Yeah. Next one up is probably something we won't talk about much because I don't remember much about it, and I don't think anyone else will. Which is Sanctus Reach, the 40k turn-based game that was on a grid, where you played as Space Wolves.
No, I remember that, and you're playing as Grayson Hunt or fucking whatever.
No, that's the other one.
Oh shit, then I don't remember this one at all. Wait, no, do I? Fuck it. Well, I think that says everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember it.
I remember it being completely fine, but when I don't know, I just didn't really feel much of a need to go back to it. It was fine. They have, much like many of the other Space Wolf 40k game that came out this year, which we'll talk about in a bit, they have added bits to it, so I should probably go and check it out, but it was fine, and that's all I remember, was it being fine.
Yeah. Also, I realised, basically, we've been talking for 20 minutes, and Drummer Master sat there being like, yeah. Sorry, dude.
No, look, we're not supposed to lampshade the fact that Matt's played 3 games this year.
3 is
Okay, he's played 1 game this year.
Well, I mean, on average, you're right.
Oh, it's okay. We still love you.
No, we'll mention that at the end.
Yeah, that's fine.
Next one is Slime Rancher, which is fucking great.
I played a bit of that, but I don't know. I'm just not very good at those games.
It's actually really, really simple once you get used to it.
Because what I kept doing was I kept putting literally everything, ever, and massively overfilling the slime silos or whatever they are, and then they just keep getting out, and I'd get really mad, and then they turn into tar and just murder me.
Yeah. I mean, you know...
And I just kept doing that over and over again and going, why doesn't it work?
I mean, you know, I might put... This might be a bit of a radical idea, but maybe,
I'm listening.
you know, don't do that,
Maybe
and then
don't
it
do
might
what?
work.
Don't do what?
Fill them up to overflowing.
You doing what now?
Because
Do that. That's what I was doing.
No,
Why?
don't do that.
Why?
And that's your entire
But I
problem.
need to get the plots, Matt. I need to get the plots so I can get more of the dudes. I put a fucking, like, a net on the top, and they were still bouncing out like a bunch of fucking
Yeah,
dicks.
they can only have so many impacts before the roof goes down. Yeah, that's what...
That explains a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, stupid broken shit game! I know I'm doing everything wrong, but fuck you for not letting me.
I believe it also says that in the description of the item.
Look, I'm playing video games to avoid reading, okay?
Well, occasionally-
I don't want to read!
Occasionally you got it, I'm afraid.
No, reading's for losers.
But yeah, Slime Rancher, little fun, little almost farming simmy game where you
Cute.
breed little
The
slimes.
aesthetic is so cute.
It is adorable.
The slimes are so cute.
I played till, like, to beat it, as it were, when you get to the the credits actually roll, you, like, beat the story. Like, yeah, you go through and you have to find a bunch of stuff and unlock things. And I went through and did that, and I don't think the game's got a lot of depth, so I think playing much after you've got that, all you can really do is try and do, like, there's a little time trial mode.
Yeah.
I think that's all there really is to do, because you'll have seen everything in the main game. But I played it for something like 40 hours, and
Was that all casual?
and I really enjoyed it. Really, it was a really nice, relaxing, cutesy little game, and there was enough stuff in it to keep me entertained. And whilst I wish it had more depth, that might have ruined the simplicity of it. So you know,
I mean, I'm going to give it Game of the Year just for the simple fact that it contains something called the chickadoo.
oh yeah, the little chickens.
Chickadoos.
They were adorable. Yeah.
They are derpy little floofy chickens. And didn't I play it on stream? Or no. We played it for a video, and I was behind the keyboard for that one. And I would frequently drop lots of plots just so I could pick up a chickadoo, and it drove you nuts.
Yes.
I'm like, no, I'm keeping a chickadoo with me. This
Because
is
you
my
have such
baby.
limited inventory.
Yeah, no, chickadoo deserves a space in my inventory. I love chickadoos.
You dropped lots of plots to pick up a chickadoo.
You fucking heard me.
Good.
Good.
Plorts are like the thing that slimes poop out, and then you sell their plorty poops.
Yeah, you sell the slime's poop
So then
for profit.
so
for
then
fun
you-
and profit.
Yeah, for fun and profit. And then you go buy more food or whatever, and then feed them, and then they poop out more plorts, and then you throw them on the floor because chickadoos are fucking king.
Okay.
It probably sounds to you, because did you know anything about Slime Rancher? Or am I just making weird noises?
I watched your playthrough of it, so I do know.
Okay.
The sentence just sounded fun. I knew exactly what it meant. It just sounded funny.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is Sniper Elite 4.
Ah, yes, this is mine.
This is entirely you.
Entirely me. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of that with a mate lately, and it's fantastic. I will say, don't buy it unless you get the DLC bundled in, because it is abusive with its DLC. I'd say it's pretty bullshit. Because, like, oh yeah, no, like, half of the weapons that you should have access to, you just have to buy.
Yeah.
And there's, like, a bunch, like there's a few extra, like, the Deathstorm missions. Oh yeah, they're really good, you have to buy them. And it's just really fucking annoying. The Sniper Elite's always been a bit of a shit for that.
Yeah, I guess because Rebellion finally found a niche and they're just pumping it. They're going to
Really
pump
are.
that niche until it's dry.
Oh my god, so I actually got a tweet back from Rebellion, like, a little while ago, because the first time I was playing one of the DLC things, it like, without spoiling anything, you blow this place up, and as the camera kind of pans out of the area, and you see a chicken running from the explosion, and then it gets engulfed, I started freaking out. My mate was laughing his ass off at me, because I was like, is the chicken okay? And he was like, dude, it's fine. I'm like, no, I gotta know. So I tweeted at Rebellion then and there, like, please tell me the chicken's okay. I've just finished Deathstorm 3. Please tell me he's fine. And those fucking snarky shits, they sent me back a gif of a guy from, like, the American Office, just kind of, like, doing the white guy smile of, like, pursing his lips and being like... And I'm like, you motherfuckers. No, that chicken has to live.
Oh, I forgot to mention this then, because this might be up your alley, since apparently you're all about chickens today. There are chickens in the first hub area in Destiny 2. I think there may also be rabbits, but I saw
like
it.
chickens and
I
I
saw
like
it for a
rabbits.
split second as it ran into the undergrowth, and I'm like, "Is that a fucking rabbit?"
Well, it is now. We've decided it's a rabbit.
It's probably a
It's a
rabbit.
bunny. So yeah, definitely, if you're interested, I mean, it's good. I like what it does. It's definitely improved on the third one. It's well put together. Don't buy it unless you have the bundle with all the DLC. Just don't.
Wait for a sale. Then.
Wait for a sale. Absolutely.
Okay. Now we have Space Wolf,
I am aware of them.
which is the other turn-based.
The one I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
based on the Space Wolves. This one is also kind of a card game. I mean, I think this one came out actually a little while ago on mobile devices, but it's the Steam version that came out this year. So it's, when we played it, well, it came out of early access this year. The release dates of games has got so complicated these
Oh,
days.
it's dumb.
But yeah,
It's
I
a
don't-
40k
it was
game.
fine. I remember it being a game that I mocked before it came out because it was a card game, fundamentally.
Yeah.
That just had a fancy UI where you were killing people. And I remember seeing that, like the idea, and going, that's the dumbest idea, how will that ever work? And then playing it and going, well, I guess it works. For
It
whatever
is
that's
functioning
worth.
with
It
the
functions.
appropriate parameters, yeah.
I remember it being fine. I remember liking some elements about it, but I don't remember what they are because it's not that memorable. Honestly, the little indie turn-based 40k games, the first one that really grabbed me was Deathwatch, a game that is objectively terrible.
Yeah, no, that's
So
fair.
maybe my opinion can be instantly discounted from these things
Oh no,
because of that.
I found this one pretty boring as well, don't worry. I mean, well no, it wasn't boring, it was just, this is a thing.
I remember it looks a lot better than Sanctus Reach. But
It
that's
did,
all, yeah.
but yeah.
But yeah, I think that's one of those games that's a bit of a your mileage may vary sort of thing. Like,
Yeah, I'd say so.
you might like it, you might not. Next one is Stories Untold.
I fucking love this one. This one is really good.
Stories Untold is pretty cool.
Okay, so Stories Untold is like a spoopy horror game that's a selection of like 4 chapters that I haven't done the 4th one yet because I'm a massive wuss and I've been building up to it.
I'd just like to point out that you have ironically said the word spoopy enough that it's just fallen into your like common usage.
Vernacular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a problem? Because I don't give a fuck.
No, I'm just mentioning it.
Okay.
It's just normally when someone says spoopy, they say it with some degree of irony, but that was so sincere. I just felt the need to mention
I
it.
was so sincerely spooked when I played this game. I felt it would be dishonest not to be so open about how the level of spoop that I required. I went through. You fucking thrown me right up.
Sorry.
You picked me up and you threw me out the fucking window with that shit.
Stories Untold.
Stories Untold, very good game. It's kind of a weird text-based adventure with point-and-click elements.
Well, isn't it like the first chapter very text-based and then the other ones are less
First one's very
so?
text-based. Second one is more point-and-click, like, oh, you've got to do X, Y, Z. You've got to turn this to 3, and then that means that this has to be off. And if you feel kind of a bit overwhelmed, like you need like a fucking manual sat there. But I kind of like that. And then like the third one, which is my favorite, is like you're basically just sitting there decoding things, and that was awesome. And there's like some really spooky things that happen, and like weird things that happen. And I don't know, I think it just kind of caught me off guard of just how good it was. I was just like, holy shit, they've actually managed to make like text-based kind of point-and-click decoding mini-games scary.
Yeah.
Fuck, okay. And like, written well, voice acted pretty well. I haven't played the 4th one because I've been kind of waiting for you to be like around at the same time, so I won't be on my own because it's kind of scary.
It's that thing, you've put it off for so long, like, I think you first played this like 6 months ago.
I did, yeah, and it's like, but it is spooky, so yeah. I really do like it. Very, very cool.
Okay, next one is actually one that you've played a lot more than me, which I was surprised about, considering the type of game it is, which is Strafe.
Strafe, yeah.
The first-person roguelite.
It's like a love letter to the old kind of like Quake games and like the FPSs of the 90s. That's supposed to be very high octane, very fast kind of shooty bang murder simulator. It's not really that. It has moments. This is the thing. My biggest problem with it is the fact that it's a roguelike.
Yeah.
It ruins it. It's like, for me, I'm obviously like one of my favorite games in recent memory is Doom 2016. It's just so good, and you're rushing about like your fucking ass is on fire, blowing holes in things. And you kind of, with Strafe, you get maybe the first couple of seconds of that rush of keep jumping, because you jump and that increases your speed, like very Quake, very cool. And you're flipping around, you're shooting everything, and then suddenly you don't know where to go.
Because the levels are obviously
cobbled together, they're randomized, and maybe you picked up a grenade launcher while having the gravity mutator on, so now you can't kill anything in the fucking level.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Like, I think it is a funny one, because, like, yeah, the game is what it is. It is a roguelike first-person shooter based on those games, so it is what it is, but I can't help but think that the structure of the levels completely robs any sense of flow through a level.
It brings you to a skidding halt, which is like, that's not what these games were. And I appreciate it's not an exact copy of what it's supposed to be, but it's taken a lot from, like, 90s shooter games, that's my jam. That's when I grew up with these things, I love them. I played them all to fucking death. So, the fact that when you're actually in the thick of it, it's really good, and then you have to stop and try and figure out what the fuck's going. It's just like, fucking roguelikes, man. I don't think it helps that I'm not fantastically into roguelikes anyway.
Yeah.
But, there's certain touches that I really like. Like, if you keep jumping in a rhythm, you speed up. Like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can rocket jump as well. And just, like, little things like that, and you're like, yeah, you guys love this shit, too. But why'd you make it a roguelike? Because that's made that stop.
Yeah, I get it, and because it does give it basically infinite replayability.
Yeah, but I just kind of feel sitting there playing it, like, how much more awesome would this be if they just sat down and made a static level?
Yeah.
Like, just give me, like, keep doing your roguelike thing, but maybe give me a side, like, mode where it's just linear single-player, non-roguelike. That's what I want. That's what I would have loved.
Yeah, I guess it's because the mechanics, the raw mechanics of the game work, but just the whole concept of a kind of fast-paced, old-school shooter kind of run contrary to the goals of a roguelike.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad game at all. But
I think it misses a good few notes that it should really hit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what ruins it for
It's
me.
a bit of a funny one like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Next up is one that is for Matthew.
Oh yeah, this is a really cool game.
Super Mario Run. That neither of us have played, so...
You have such a low opinion of me, and it's kind of true at this point.
What? Yeah, I asked you what you played, and then this got added into the list.
I mentioned in... Yeah, okay, fine. It's a Mario jump game on your phone. It's alright. It's quite good fun. You have to pay for it for the full version. So I've managed
Is it like an infinite runner?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just It's Mario, apart from you just have jump button, you don't have left or right or whatever. It's just, yeah.
Okay.
But it somehow feels like a Mario game, which is quite good.
Is it because Mario's in it?
Well, I mean, yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it's just, I don't know. It's alright. I don't have particularly high praise for it. I've kept playing it. They've recently introduced a new mode where because you've got like your world stages and then a few levels per stage, and you get the first one of the stages for free. It's like the first 4 levels, and then you have to pay, and it's not a microtransaction-y. It's just if you pay, you get the whole game, and if you don't pay, you get a demo basically.
Yeah.
But it's like a tenner, and I was like, that's quite a lot for a mobile game.
I thought it was like, it's going to be like £3-4, in which case I'd be like...
it's a tenner. They did have it as a half price for a while, and I still didn't buy it out of principle. Because
no, that's ridiculous. Yeah,
but they've recently added a new. So I played it a little bit, like with Animal Crossing. I played it for a bit and thought, okay, whatever, fine. But then they introduced a new version recently, which was like a remix thing, and it takes like 10-second snips from all of the possible levels, and then puts 10 of them together, and you play through all 10 of them, and then if you do all right, you move on to the next set of 10. It just means that you can play a bit of all of the levels that you haven't paid to unlock. So I was like, okay, cool. And then it was like you have to do like a number of those to get through to the next round. And then there's like, at the end of like the 30th round, you unlocked a new playable character. It was Daisy? The one that isn't Peach?
Yeah, Daisy.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the one that isn't Peach could literally be Mario.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I just want a Waluigi game.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, one of those like old like meat and fuck games you get on New. Wow.
You know, whenever I make a joke about meat and fuck in a stream or something, there's always someone in the chat who goes, "I can't believe you know about that."
Yeah, well, we've been around. We've been on the internet for a long ass time. We know about the meat and fuck series. Begrudgingly, but there we go.
I actually remember. I remember years ago.
Oh no.
We were looking. It was when we'd just done My Girlfriend is the President, and we were looking for a funny porn game to play for the channel. That obviously we'd censor everything, and it's really hard to find a decent porn game because they're either really gratuitous or they take a million years to get there. To get to the funny parts.
They're just really badly written, and it's like, oh, yes, I fancy you, but we can't do a fuck on it because I have to go and eat this cardboard, and then they eat cardboard for fucking 20 minutes. That was a weird game I played.
Yeah, I kind of want to see
Meat and
that
Fuck 2, not very good, actually.
But yeah, I remember, because we were talking to you about it, Matt, and so you went and searched, and you just went straight to a Newgrounds game where you play as Link, hard fucking Midna.
Oh, shit! Yeah, and then you were like,
Like you can...
And then you linked us to it, and then we were both, like, playing it together, which was really weird.
And it was like, oh, you press this button to flip her around and fuck her in the ass. Like, okay.
Yeah. Oh god, what was that game we played at Dicko's where we just kept going ass to mouth over and over again?
Hey, back to Mario Run. I want to defend myself, basically.
Okay.
So this new version that this new mode that I mentioned, basically, yeah, you need to get through these 30 stages, and each one's got like 3 or 4 sets of the 10 levels. There's, you level up, blah blah blah. When you start, you've got to wait like 30 seconds after the end of play before you play again, and you can get around that by buying the game, and then you don't have to wait. But I was like, okay, I'll wait a bit. And then you get up to like level 5, and it ups it to like a minute you've got to wait. And I was like, well, that's annoying. Yeah, by the time you get up to like stage or level or whatever you call it, like 20, you're waiting like 6 hours between plays, and then by the time you're on 29, it's 24 hours. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm finishing this, and I'm getting to the end. I'm not thinking about it, I'm just going to wake up in the morning or whatever, and just quickly play it for 10 seconds, and then not think about the game for the rest of the day. But I am finishing this out of some sort of principle that I'm going to get through
that
it.
Is fucking
and then
abusive.
I finished, I thought I finished it, I unlocked Daisy, and then it was like, okay, next stage. And it just seemingly never ends, so I was like, okay, well, fuck it, I'm not playing anymore.
You know what? You've paid your dues. Holy shit, dude. How long did it make you wait for the last one? Like 3 weeks?
Oh, no, the max, it was like 23 hours was the maximum, I think it ended up waiting.
Fucking hell.
That can fuck off.
But you could pay more tokens, because you had to pay a token to, like, enter. And you could pay more to unlock it, which then you end up running out and have to buy them. So I was like, no, I'm not putting any money in this.
Yeah.
But I just want to do this bit just out of some sort of, I don't even know, principle.
Yeah. You see, I have a similar thing with a lot of mobile games where sometimes I'll get to a point where I'm like, you know what? I'll actually spend some money on this. And then it does something that just pisses me off so much that I'm like, no, I'm never giving money to this.
Exactly.
And I think mobile games are real shits for doing that.
They're really scummy for that kind of thing.
It's inherently... there is
even
an inherent...
Animal Crossing, like Pocket Camp, like has like things like that where you just sit there and just go, "Oh yeah, fuck off."
Yeah, I think there is an inherent manipulation built into the DNA of mobile games at this point, because the economy is so fucked. Because people will generally not pay for games very often. So the whole free-to-play microtransaction-y, loot boxy thing has so ingrained in that entire medium that it's kind of permeated all of them in some some form or another. Well, not all of them. There are some big ones, but
it's gross. But can we not? Because that shit is at the moment. I would like to have one podcast where I'm not inwardly sitting in the back of my brain going, microtransactions, exclusionary, tricking people into gambling, and just getting really genuinely angry about it. So let's just for this one time, just brush over that, if that's okay.
Just for Christmas, we can brush over the inherent shittiness of the games industry at the moment.
Well, no. I just don't want to think about it for like a day, because that's pretty much every day is just sitting there playing a game going, well, I'm literally just a whale to these people. Ugh! And it makes me so fucking genuinely mad. Especially because all the signs were there. They've been sneaking this shit under our noses for so long.
I'm just going to say, you're doing a really bad job of not talking about it.
I know! I've been really stressed lately, and even with my diazepam, I'm still feeling really, really just pent up and cranky.
It's okay. It's okay.
Is it though?
It's okay. We'll move on to the next game. Which is technically about a nightmare capitalist future.
We're already living it!
Which is Universal Paperclips, which was mentioned a little bit in the last episode. So,
I don't even like paperclips. Who even uses them anymore? Fucking...
It doesn't, you have to, all you have to do is make paperclips. It doesn't say they have to be used.
But they do. Why make a tool if it's not going to be used?
Because its only one programming instruction was to make paperclips.
You are not a machine. You are not a cog in the machine.
You're playing as a machine. That's the point.
And it's quite possible that you may deplete the world of resources.
Yeah. Good. Let it die.
Yeah, it's very excellent. Have you finished? Did you? You hadn't finished it last time we spoke.
Yes, after the podcast, you told me the thing that I was missing, and I went and did it, and I beat it, yes.
Nice. Isn't it great?
Yes, okay, how can I put this? The endings, which one did you pick? Because there's the two endings, one of which is, it describes it as being kind of a starting again, and one is not that.
Yeah, I did not that.
Did you ignite the first flame?
Yeah, I did not that. I snuffed the flame out.
Okay.
Yeah. I let it die.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a game that exists, and I'm sorry to anyone that heard us talking about it in the last podcast and went, I'll give that a quick go.
Okay, so I'm gonna be very straight with you. Our viewer count's kind of halved. And do you know why? People are dead. Because they've been playing that game. It's killed people.
But it's only you could probably finish it, I imagine. I don't know how many hours it's been. It's a good amount of hours, but I did it in 2 days over the daytime. Yeah, so I reckon I spent 2 5-hour sessions on it, probably.
And to be fair, it's the sort of game that you leave on in the background whilst you're doing other things to kind of rack things up. So it's not really solid.
It's the most innovative first-person shooter I've ever played.
I really like it. I think it's quite interesting. It's got enough different about it to not just be another clicker game or whatever.
Yeah.
You guys are literally just doing the super hot thing. The whole being... Yeah. It's the most innovative shooter I've played in years. But no, I'm joking. I'm glad you guys, cause it's a little browser game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just a little browser game.
I mean, I'm not going to try it because, I have shit to do. We're moving in, 7 days, so...
Yeah. I mean, I do like that this list of things has both AAA games in it and a small little browser game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every game is equal on our block.
Yeah, all bases, all games are equal on our block, provided that we've played them or whatever.
Yeah. Because there'll be lots that we've just not that might seem obvious to you that came out this year that we just haven't played.
Yeah.
Also, there's
these are the ones we played. So
there's also probably a few that we did play that we've missed because we forgot. Yeah. So sorry
to
if that
no
happens.
one in particular.
Yeah. But the very, very last one is Wonder Doctor.
Meat and fuck. Okay.
It is not Meat and Fuck. No.
Meat and Fuck Wonder Doctor.
I don't know if they still make those.
I kind of hope they do, and I hope they're still garbage.
But yeah, so Wonder Doctor.
Wonder Doctor. That's very fun.
Yeah, a little game where you just fix the ailments of people as like an old-fashioned doctor.
Yeah, like a plague doctor will frequently come in and try and fleece you.
Yeah.
And then you just have to poke their zits and...
You have to pop their zits and, like, poke their weird nipple worms and...
Yeah. It's one of the few games we were actually given a code by the dev, which Dicko actually secured for us by harassing them on Reddit, apparently.
Yeah, they were like, please don't hurt my family. Take all the codes you need.
Yeah.
Also, I'm paraphrasing, that's probably what they said.
But yeah, I played, I never got around to beating it, but I did play quite a bit more of it, like, after where the video that we did ended.
Yeah. Like
another hour or so of it. Because I think we played for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a pretty fun little game. Novel, like, it doesn't... It's one of those games where it gradually increases the complexity over time. So, like, it starts off just simply clicking things, and then, time limits come in, and then things that can kill them quicker come in, and then, like, really precise work on the mouse is required. And,
there's a couple of weird kind of, like, where the mouse, you'll think you're cutting in a certain way, but you won't be.
Oh, yeah, it's because, like, the positioning, like, when you use the scalpel...
the positioning on the scalpel is a bit off-kilter.
Because it starts off as, like, a finger that then a scalpel, like, folds out of it. And so the point that you would be clicking on goes from being the tip of the finger to the scalpel. So it's
the
almost...
very tip of the scalpel.
So yeah, it's a
bit confusing.
There's little things like that can be a little bit disorienting to begin with, but
otherwise, I say it's a neat little game. It's cute.
I often think it's generally a good sign when the complaints about it become so weird and specific.
Yeah. The scalpel isn't quite where I feel it should be.
No. Yeah, that was a fun game. So yeah, that was all the games we played this year that came out this year.
Yeah. So what would you say your game of the year is?
My game of the year?
What's your game of the year for 2017?
For me, I would have to say it would be Slime Rancher. It's not... I'd be hard-pressed to say that, like, in terms of, like, depth or mechanics, it was the best game or anything, but, like, just speaking for me personally, it's the game that I probably played the most, that I had the most consistently good time with. I think it just fit the niche that I needed at the time that I was playing it.
Yeah.
Of something nice and relaxing and kind of cutesy and pleasant. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, that would be my game of the year.
Okay. Drama Butt, what's your game of the year?
So, I mean, I went through on the Wikipedia the list of all games, well, not all games obviously, but all games big enough to be mentioned on Wikipedia released this year. And from that list, I'd played 2 of them. And then you reminded me of Paperclips, which technically counts as a third. So I played Super Mario Run, which barely counts. I played Cuphead while drunk at your house on a stream. And I played Paperclips. So, I mean, I guess by default, Paperclips is my game of the year.
It is the Dark Souls of browser games, let's be honest here.
Yeah. I mean, best for me this year, I've played games that aren't out this year. I really enjoyed Banished. That's my game of the year that I played this year.
Is that addictive?
That
so
didn't
addictive.
come out this year, I don't think.
No.
It came out a fair while ago. But yeah, that's my game that I've played of the year.
That's fine. That's fine, man.
Right?
To be fair, if we'd have done this list a few years ago, it would have been exactly the same.
It would have been like, well, I replayed the demo to this game again.
I mean, if we're using game of the year to define game, not video game, I'd probably say D&D, purely because I think that's what I've spent most of the year doing. I think that's why I've had such an unproductive video game year.
Don't you fucking blame us for the... Okay, you know what? No, okay, so Drama Matt's game of the year is D&D, which honestly, I was kind of toying with the idea of saying earlier.
So what's your game of the year then?
My game of the year is Doom. Doom 2016.
Okay. There are issues with that selection.
I failed to see.
Not least that I believe it was your game of the year for last year too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, my game of the year 2 years running.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, Doom VR.
You haven't played that.
Doom for the Switch.
You haven't played that.
Brutal Doom?
You have played that, but that came out a long time ago.
Western Doom.
That came out decades ago.
Blood?
That also came out decades ago. I believe actually 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you have a game that was released this year that you liked?
I liked games this year. I would say Sniper Elite 4 would be my game of the year.
Okay.
But its DLC is so egregious, it can fuck off the whole of my dick.
Fair enough.
Well, no, it's just that is such a frustrating thing, because especially someone who doesn't have a massive amount of money, it's really fucking irritating.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be loads of people out there gaming on an even worse budget than I can imagine. And it's like, I can't in good conscience, recommend that as it is now without all of the DLC included.
Yeah.
So, it would be Sniper Elite 4, but I think I'm probably gonna go for Stories Untold, which is a game I haven't even fucking finished yet. Which looks really bad, but no, I love what it does. It's simple, but incredibly effective.
Yeah.
And it scared the fuck out of me. So,
That's fair.
It did well.
Okay. Well, again, we probably missed out a game or two there. I just realised that all of us played a lot of Magikarp Jump.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yeah, I scratched that. Game of the year, Magikarp Jump.
That,
Is that all of our game of the years now? It's Magikarp Jump.
Yes. It's that good.
Way to just null and void the entire podcast at the end.
Yeah, GG.
Good work, guys.
This is what we do. This is what... People listen to the podcast to be disappointed. Come on, they were probably expecting something miserable like that anyway.
Yeah, probably. So I guess all that is left now that we've done that is to answer any questions that we've got, which will probably be a lot less than normal since we're recording this a lot earlier.
Yeah. So, what should people do, and they should do, if they want to ask us questions on the podcast, Wiblet?
They should send their questions to the email address onlydrummermat@snipeandwib@gmail.com.
That's a fucking terrible email address.
It never stops being terrible.
It's the best.
It's the fucking worst. I love it.
So what correspondence have we been sent?
We've had just a few, seeing as it's not been that long since the last recording.
Yeah, it's only been a few days since the last one's been out. So
first up, an anonymous listener asked if we've ever read the fighting fantasy books, which I honestly hadn't heard of before you explained what they were. But they sound cool.
Yeah.
I have not read them. I mean, we played Death Trap Dungeon, the old game that was based on one of them.
Yeah.
Because it's like a series of
choose your own adventure books with dice rolling.
Yeah, which sounds right up my alley, honestly.
I think it sounds right up your ass.
Well,
that sounds right up my ass, actually.
I don't know if I like it that much, but. But yeah, I do want to play. I've been meaning to pick one up, so you can get them relatively cheap on Amazon. So I've been meaning to pick one up. I'll probably pick up Death Trap Dungeon just because that's the one that I am at least a little familiar with.
Yeah.
And who knows? I that sounds like the sort of thing that maybe making a video somehow out of might be fun, but I need to think of how to format that. That might even be something to do a kind of review style video on. A scripted video?
Yeah, no, that's a good.
Because I don't think you can let's play a book.
Well, you just have to one of you be the narrator and one of you react to the things. Could that work?
I'll be the narrator. I'm really good at narrating. Don't look at me like that. I am.
I don't know. I'm sure you'll sort something out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a second question from the same person asked if we, or I guess you, have considered setting up a Discord server for fans to find D&D groups or some such stuff.
We actually do have a Discord server. We will link it in the description.
Yeah, because apparently I'd forgot to add that to the podcast descriptions.
Because you're literally the worst.
Because it's in the regular video.
But we do have a bunch of channels in there, tabletop gaming channels and 40k.
And roleplay channels.
And roleplay channels as well. A bunch of people in our Discord already do kind of organise games with each other, so yeah, there we go, problem solved.
Yeah, go in there and ask people, and I'm sure you'll be able to find a couple of people to play with.
Yeah.
So, yeah, already a thing.
Excellent.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of.
Just we linked it badly.
Yes.
Next up, JT Monkey. They're learning acoustic guitar at the moment.
Right.
So far, they're up to the stage where they can play without this sound, one finger songs. So they can do like, I think they said "Smoke on the Water" and "Seven Nation Army" and stuff like that. But they're having a bit of an issue, sort of, progressing to the next stage of getting their, fingers dexterous enough. So basically, instrument learning tips, which the only one I can think of is just keep doing it.
Yeah, that sounds like a massive cop-out.
Yeah,
it really
cop-out
does.
Answer.
Yeah, it's you've got to build up that strength. I mean, you've got to build up the calluses, and I hope you're not using nylon strings, because they're the fucking worst. God, I hate those things.
What for?
For playing guitar.
Well, they're like the soft plastic strings rather than the harsh metal strings, but they're like so much less painful.
No, they're gross. I hate them. I tried to teach myself like guitar ages ago, and I had one with like nylon strings, and they were fucking horrible.
It's harder for bar
I hated
chords
them so much
because they're usually like Spanish style guitars. The neck's wider. When playing a bar chord, you got to use your entire
that was
fist.
the kind of guitar I was learning on, and it was horrible.
I think it might also depend on if I think cheap nylon stringed guitars feel worse than a cheap metal stringed guitar.
I'd say so.
I think that's
my problem.
I think that was an issue because that was before we met. So,
But no, it's just you need to build up your calluses. You need to build up your finger strength. Unfortunately, that is not something you can do overnight, and you're gonna cramp up a lot. Yeah. But just keep at it, and it is really hard.
I mean,
you'll feel like you're not getting anywhere, but you are getting somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, what I always say to people about learning instruments is don't be upset and don't be disheartened if for the first 6 months you just suck out loud. Like, you're terrible and you can't get your head around things, because I think there's, especially if it's the first instrument that you're learning, because like learning a subsequent instrument afterwards is significantly easier. It's like speaking
languages. It's like the second one's always really easy.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to because you have a lot of the concepts of how music is structured and how instruments work, like especially if you're talking about stringed instruments, like
they're all pretty much the same basic principles.
Yeah,
so once you've got your head around guitar, you'll be fine.
Yes, I mean,
but the problem is getting to that point.
Yeah, but like those first 6 months where you're probably going to be really rough, and that's okay, that's normal. But like if you keep practicing, you'll eventually sort of hit a point and it starts to kind of flow a little bit naturally. I think a good thing to start trying to do early on, once you've kind of got like just playing simple things with one finger, is to try and upgrade to doing chords. Just don't push yourself too hard to be perfect right off the bat, because it does take a little while to get used to how fingers sit. I mean, learning power chords is a nice, easy early one, because you can put your 3 fingers anywhere on the guitar and it pretty much works.
Yeah.
Okay, there are exceptions to that, but anywhere on the first top 4 strings.
Yeah.
And it'll work.
And I guess another bit of advice I'd say is that it'll take a bit more like confidence-wise, but try and find a band to join. Like, not necessarily don't go and try and join a already going band and say I can't play, but can I join? But if you can find some mates who are just wanting to mess about or anything, the best way to give you like a reason to practice is turning up to band practice. Like,
like I mean, as well as that, it's like you don't really learn how to play an instrument until you join a band. That's a saying I've heard so many times.
Yeah,
which is like that. Not to say that you can't play something before you're in a band, but being in a band kind of environment, again, it gives you a reason like to practice every few days or whatever. You have to play, and you have to play for this long, and you're trying to keep up, and it'll give you a sense of rhythm. And
it also gives you
a bit of confidence, because you see all your mates sucking as well.
Yeah, you see all the mistakes on it. And also, I guess it's a bit better for stamina.
It helps.
Because when you're learning, you can just sit there and just play for like 30 seconds and go, yeah, I can play that thing, but playing for a full like 3 to 5 minutes is a different beast.
You get fatigued violently.
I actually found one thing that helped me a lot, and I don't know how common this is for people to do. I assume everyone does this, but just if you haven't heard it, is when I was learning, I just would pick songs that I liked, that I knew were relatively simple, and I'd just play along to them. Like,
that does really help.
Yeah. And I just did that, and I just did that loads when I was first learning.
And then you get to feel really cool, because you're like, I can keep, because that's the thing, you're like, I can play this, but at like 1/10 speed. And then you just kind of put a song on repeat and just try and keep up, and every time you do, you're like, yeah, fucking badass.
And then, like, the first time, like, you know, there's some songs on, like, the first time you get through the whole thing, and you're just like, fuck yeah, that's amazing. And also, when you do start getting better, and especially if you start learning things that are more complicated, I don't know if everyone else gets this, but you will have there's like a weird dead zone, where after you've learned how to do something, you'll kind of get terrible at it again before you, like, internalize it properly. So it's like, you can play it if you're super concentrating on it, but the moment that you let that concentration lapse, you'll fuck it up super bad, and you'll feel bad about that because...
To be fair, that doesn't last that long.
Yeah, it doesn't last long, but it's like when you're learning something new, that can be really disheartening, because you're like, I had it, why can't I play it again? But you just... I feel that's almost like the muscle memory building up.
Well, your brain kind of, like, low-key sorting it out.
Similarly, though, I guess to go on one step from that, so you go through that first stage, you're not very good, you get better, but then you get a bit worse because you don't concentrate as much. Later on, you end up getting to a point where, and I went through a phase like this for about a year, when we used to be band practicing at Dicko's undercave, whatever
His undercave.
The room that was under his flat that totally wasn't abandoned or anything.
I went through a phase quite a while of this where it was like, if I wasn't, it's the opposite of the problem you just said. If I wasn't concentrating, I'd play, but as soon as I tried to think about what I was doing, my limbs would freak out, and I'd be like, how does this song go? How am I meant to play this? And it's like, but if I wasn't thinking about it, or like the bits where I was singing as well, and had to concentrate on that a bit, it was fine. But then I'd just go back to just drumming and be like, what's my leg doing? Why? What?
Where am I?
And realise that all four limbs are doing a slightly different thing at a slightly different time.
And you're also making mouth noises.
It was, that's a weird stage to get through.
Yeah, you will get to a point where the moment you start thinking about what you're doing, you forget how to do everything for like 30 seconds, and it's terrifying.
Or where you realise that you've been completely blank for the last minute of a song, and it's been through like several different segments, and you go,
where the fuck am I?
You sit there, and then you're going, and then you're listening to the singer going like, oh, that's what verse we're in. Oh, good. And that's the only way you know, because you just blanked the first chorus entirely.
Anyway, all these fucking asides, we are super proud of you for learning guitar. As that might sound patronising, but no, I am so fucking proud of you, because that shit is daunting, and it's hard. Stick with it. I believe in you, and I am so damn proud of you. So you just got to build up your hand strength and just get that muscle memory. But you will get there.
It is just time.
It is just time. And it might feel horrible. Sometimes you might feel like, why did I ever fucking bother? Just keep at it. You fucking got this, dude. It's gonna be fucking great.
Yeah, good tip.
What she said. So yes, other questions.
Final question. I don't know how to answer this one exactly. But Nathaniel's asks, so this is a D&D question. How much, this is more for me, I guess, really, but I guess you've DM'd in the past, Snipe.
Yes.
They ask how much prep we put into an adventure. And they're saying for what they've been doing, because they're currently DMing something. And they said they tend to plan the characters and the locations rather than any specific events. So that means that they're a bit more free into what players can do. But it does mean that they are now constantly worried that the players will realise just how much of it they're blagging.
Okay, speaking, I'm sure Drummer Matt will agree with me here. Speaking as someone who has DM'd, they won't.
Yeah, as a general rule.
They won't get it.
Players don't know when you're blagging it and when you're not.
No. Just don't ever just sit there and just go, fuck, you got me, I was blagging it, because then they'll know. But you're behind the screen, they think you know everything. You just gotta act a little confident, and suddenly you're this big arbiter of fucking all knowledge. It's fantastic.
If they query something that like is something that you've obviously just had to come up with on the spot, you can just respond with like, oh yeah, that's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, or like they pull out a plot hole, just go, good catch, and then refuse to elaborate.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta do. You can't let them fucking...
You just like go, yeah, that is that way, isn't it? Mm.
Yeah. Basically, just act like a smarmy, just as planned Yu-Gi-Oh player. But yeah, don't worry, they don't know.
And remember that most players are probably like me, and the amount they prepare is that they turn up to the game, they look at their character sheet and go, oh, my name is this, okay, I'm ready.
You don't get into character?
No.
Me neither, that would be weird. I just start inwardly referring everyone to everyone as mate or love.
I'm not saying that my way of doing things is right. In fact, it's probably not. But I would wager that's how a lot of people play.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, no, I have to have a special hat.
Yeah, more accurately, the amount of preparation that has gone into playing.
I would say with the whole, like, just prepping characters and... What was it they said? Characters and,
Yeah, they said they prep characters and locations.
Okay, yeah, character, that's all you need, dude. This is the thing. You're not... You don't... As a DM, you don't sit there and force them towards a narrative, although... they're in your sandbox looking for a narrative. So...
Yeah, if you give a hint that there's a story over that way, they'll probably go that way.
Players can see a hook coming. Like, they know the score. You need to put your hooks in there. And that's what they're after. They're after the hooks. They're after the high adventure and all the cool loot. So, like... Just the characters and location, that's pretty much, I'd say, most of what you need anyway. I mean, it'd be nice to have it, like... A lot of it could kind of go along very organically. Like, say, all the party kind of offend a particular blacksmith. And this blacksmith, you just feel, maybe has ties to, like, an underground shady area. And maybe one of, like, the bard has just said something snarky one too many times. And there you go, you've got your campaign enemy. You can kind of do it like that, depending on how RP-based they are, I guess. But that's the thing, it's I guess it's because it's so scary, because everything's so kind of open.
I guess it depends a lot on the individual DMs and groups involved, because if the group is, like, super, like, focused on they want to do... Like, they want to go along with whatever adventure the DM's, like, doing. They don't really want to forge their own path. They want to go along with the story that the DM's coming up with, then probably being a lot more... that probably requires a lot more prep, because you're going to be doing that. Whereas if your group is very much... They just want to, forge their own adventure, then, that's probably what you can do.
It's dependent. But, I mean, again, just don't be terrified of going with it, because some of the best adventures you can have come from that.
I mean, how much time do you spend preparing, Matt?
For each, I probably... The preparing for fights and things is really easy. Like, coming up with, like, an encounter that's an appropriate challenge level is, like, nothing. It's the RP encounters that take the time.
Yeah,
for me.
Sorry.
So, no.
No, I'm joking.
So how I've been doing it. So I prepare that, like, locations, I've got a vague idea, but then I've also got, like, a list of, like, potential pubs and things for when they stop in a random village on the way somewhere. I'm going to the pub. I'm like, oh yeah, this is actually called this now.
The Toad and Shrew, manned by innkeeper Nimrin, the lovely elf lady who I like.
Yeah, exactly.
I write all this shit down. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah, so
I'm like, oh, how's Nimrin? How's her cousin over in Wyport? And you're like, fuck you. It's been a month since we played. And I'm like, I know. I read my notes before I started.
Yeah, nice. So I prepare locations, I prepare characters, and I'll also prepare... So the conversations they're going to have with the major characters, I'll sort of put out, like, if a player asks this, they'll say this, and have a few... But I think with characters, if you have that, and then if you know what their motivation is and what they want, you know how they would answer, even if you don't have to prepare it. So I think I go a bit further than you, in that I plan out the major points of a conversation.
Yeah.
Because you can guess what you can play. If they, they'll ask, who are you, if it's a new NPC.
Exactly.
And things. And a few things where like that. And especially if it's like a plot thing. Like, for example, I've just been planning out, so in our campaign at the moment, the party are off to get some ingredients to perform this ritual. And I know vaguely how that's going to go. Because whatever the party says... With it, they could, it could go completely off. But probably what will happen is what I'm planning to happen, just on regards to that one specific thing. Yeah. So for things like that, where it's probably going to go a way, and obviously the answers will be different if the players say something different, and when they talk to the guy they're bringing stuff back to, it's not going to necessarily go an exact way, but you get a vague idea it's probably going to go in this direction. So you can start to plan those ones out a bit more.
Yeah. I mean, from what you're saying, it sounds like bullet pointing stuff is a really good idea.
Yeah, that's what I tend to do, yeah.
Because then you don't over-prepare and end up having a bunch of really good dialogue you've written wasted or whatever.
So yeah, that's gonna be a fun encounter next time. I'm looking forward to it.
I am fucking. Cause we can't really talk about it because we don't have much time left. We'll talk about the next time, but we've left it in a rough place. I'm fucking carking it. I'm fucking shitting myself. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting session.
All of us to go home.
Which we get to have in person, which will be nice.
I know, it's going to be so weird. In a good way. That's the day after we've moved house.
Yeah.
So, it was a good use of our time, I guess.
Yeah. It's fun. But yeah, that's it for questions. We didn't get that many because, as we said, it's not been too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's cool. Well,
thank you very much for listening, everybody.
And also, since this will be the last podcast of the year and, one of the last things where we'll kind of be talking, especially because we won't be online much because of probably not having internet by the time this comes out. Just want to say thank you to everyone for all the support, both to do with the podcast and our channel in general and streams and everything that we've had over this year. It's been fantastic.
And also the support on Patreon, even after they pulled that garbage.
Yeah.
And then went back on it, thank God.
Tail between their legs fully as of yesterday or whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that I was going to mention that because, massive thank you to everyone who supports us there because we didn't lose anyone over that.
But, okay, we wouldn't have minded because what Patreon was doing was bullshit?
Oh, yeah, no, it would have been fine if people had have pulled out because of that. I wouldn't have judged them at all, and I, still would have been grateful for what they've done for us so far. But the fact you didn't, that means a lot. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And yeah, just in general, been a fun year. The channel has grown. It's we've got 3 times the subs that we started with. Actually, I think it's more than that because it was 3 times over a very short space of time when the first Rogue Trader video came out. But yeah, so thank you to everyone.
And thank you for Drummer Matt as well, for just being here and putting up with our garbage and letting us shout over him and talk about Klingon butt plugs and all sorts of other shit that doesn't make any sense.
And we hope that you all had a good Christmas.
Or Hanukkah, or whatever it is you celebrate, or just happy December.
And you got whatever presents you wanted.
Yes.
And you have a good new year as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because even though our year has been generally pretty good, 2017 was hot garbage.
It wasn't great.
And it can fuck off, even more so than 2016 did. So I'm hoping that we can maybe break that streak and have 2018 not be just fucking sofa on fire in an alleyway.
Yeah.
Which is basically what this year was.
Yeah, I'm hoping for everyone it's way better than this fucking year.
Yeah, it's just a bit nicer.
Just a bit nicer.
I think the world needs a bit of niceness at the moment.
It does.
Yeah.
It needs more cuddles and like soft head pats.
Everyone should just go and play Slime Rancher for a bit and chill out.
But not like I do. Don't play it like I do.
No. Don't play it like Snipe does, because then you'll just get angry, and that's the opposite of what we want.
Just go play the Long Dark.
Yeah, I think I might do that actually.
Get cold and depressed.
Yeah, nah, that's fair. But yes, thank you very much for joining us, and happy holidays and a happy new year from me, Wib, and Drumblebutt. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Oh, you gotta fucking shake things up with a bye. We all said goodbye.
Yeah, but I'm more casual than you.